Well, hey there, this is Patty at Parkland RV Center in Leadington, Missouri, and today Tim and I are going to do a virtual on the 2025 Forest River Salem FSX Platinum 30VC View. So let's get started.
We're going to start up here in the front. It does have a hookup light for hooking up at nighttime on the jack. It does have your up and down button for taking it on and off the vehicle. There is a rubber plug in the very tip top. There is a manual crank handle in the front door compartment that comes through the top and will manually crank that jack up or down either way you need it to go to get it on or off the vehicle if it won't work off the switch. It has two 20-pound propane cylinders on it that are full except for what we use to service the trailer. The auto regulator is pointed towards that one over there, so that's the one we worked off of when we serviced the unit. As soon as that one would happen to come up empty, it's going to turn red inside the eye where it's green, indicate that the bottle it's pointed to is empty. Then all you have to do is flip the regulator over to this side, work off of this one while you take that one to town to have it refilled. It has one new 12-volt battery on the front of the unit. It also has a battery disconnect on the front of the unit so that when you're not going to use the trailer for a long period of time, you can take the battery disconnect key, turn it to the off position, put the cap over it. That will save the juice that's in the battery for the next time you come to it. It also has a 7-way holder on the side. It holds your chains and 7-way up off the ground. It keeps them from getting corroded. We do have the two LED strips up on top. The light switch for those is in the master bedroom, so I'll have to wait till we get to the inside to show you that. As we start down this side here, each one of the compartments have magnets to hold them up, click them into place. It does have a 50-amp power cord that is 30 foot long. It does have a coiled hose for your port spray connection. It's just like a quick connector on an air hose. Pretty good sized compartment up here that can be accessed to the bedroom too. Does have the quick drop jacks on them. We're going to come up to the black tank flushes next. You can hook to this with a water hose and a regulator while you're dumping your holding tank. So you have your black tank completely emptied. You can hook a water hose and regulator up to this connection here, turn water pressure onto it. It has a little aerator on the inside of the black tank that spins around and cleans more of the toilet paper and debris out of the inside of the black tank only. The Suburban on-demand water heater has an on and off button on the outside out here. Zero's the off, I's the on position. I'll have to show you more about that hot water heater when we get to the inside to the master bathroom. We're going to go to our termination valves. The 3-inch valve in the back is the toilet water. The 2-inch gray valve in the front will be your bathroom shower and sink water. We have another 3-inch valve a little bit farther back that is the kitchen sink water only. It does have the two low water drain points up underneath the radius metal on this side over here. The red is the hot side of the water system. The blue is the cold side of the water system. Just past the termination valves, kind of in between it, there is a little black cap on the end of the hose there. That is the fresh tank drain for draining the fresh tank. The white connection is your city water connect that you can hook to with the water hose and regulator and never have to fill the fresh tank on it. The fresh tank is the next connection back right behind it. That's where you'll fill it with your water hose. And then your port spray connection, which the blue coil hose goes in here, gives you cold water on this side over here. And then we have an outside shower that gives you hot and cold running water right down below that. The next connection is the furnace. It's going to suck cold air in the back, hot air out the front. I always suggest putting the mud diver screen over the outside of the furnace. For the simple fact the mud diver screen is less than 20 bucks. It's $155 an hour for every hour that I have to take the furnace out to clean the mud divers out of it. We do have a little side door on this side over here that opens up. Takes you into the hidden compartment. It does have 2 bench seats on the right-hand side. There's a place for TVs on the left-hand side. It has 110 outlets and USB ports. And it does have your thermostat for your main air conditioner in the bunk room up top.
And a bunk.
And a bunk. And I'll have to show you more about that when we get to the inside. There is also your water pumps inside there and that connection in that box. There'll be a separate set of keys for that there too. Lug nuts on the trailer has been torqued at 100 foot-pounds. It's what's recommended on the side. The tires are air ducted pressure, which is 65 pounds on the side of the tire code. It does have a stove vent that has 2 little tabs at the bottom, flaps out, allows that flapper to flap, but when you're in travel, you're going to want to push that back down in. And it is also prepped for clippered extendable ladder on the upper side of the unit for going up and checking the roof every 90 days. We have a park cable hook up here in the back so that if you're at a park or at your home, you can hook your cable line to that, and you'll have the same cable that you have at home or the park on your TV on the inside. It does have a 50 amp power cord, goes in, quarter of a turn, tighten up the black knob at the top of that. We're going to go to the very back of the unit. It does front for a backup camera up top. It also has a porch light on the right hand side. It does have a place in the back for a license plate bracket. Has two tables that goes on this side over here. Pretty simple to do. Just lifts up off the brackets. Comes up, fits over the top of the brackets. Does have two little extendable flanks down at the bottom to hold it on the side of the unit. Does have a drink carrier on either side. Got little racks for barbecue tongs or something like that on the inside of it. The little round hole in the back here is for the slide room. For any reason the slide room won't open or shut by the switch that's on the inside, there is a manual way that you can stick a handle in there, 3/4 inch socket on it. We'll crank that room in or out. We have the two JBL speakers on the outside and another table that hooks to the bracket up here on the front. We do have a 110 outlet and a park cable hookup or antenna hookup out here, so if you want to put a TV underneath the canopy, watch the ball game while you're out here, you can do that. It does have a vent for the toy hauler part of the unit up at the top. We're going to skip right past the door for a minute. We're going to come up here to the front compartment. There is a place for a spare tire underneath there. Same 3/4 inch handle. Does the slide room or the spare tire. The smaller handle does your tongue jack up in the front. There is Velcros on the front board there to hold it in place. Does have a magnet so you don't have to hold the door. And then you have a 2-prong hookup for a solar panel up here at the front that will recharge the battery on the front of the unit only. So now we're going to go back to the front door. We're going to lift up on the grab handle, turn it sideways, open the door fully extended. Little blue handle on the side of the steps loosens the steps from the door frame, allows the door to come out. Does have a handle underneath for holding it. Does have a push button underneath each one of the legs with 15 to 18 slots in the legs for adjustment. The main thing is once the steps come out and lay down, they have to lay flat in the threshold so that the front door fits over the top of them without dragging and peeling the adhesive off the top of it. We already had that adjusted, so we're going to go to the inside. Does have a working fire extinguisher on the left hand side as we step in. We're going to come up to the monitor panel. We're going to start at the very tip top with the solar panel reading. It shows you it's putting out 13.6 volts. It's 73 degrees today outside. And it should show you that the batteries are fully charged. We are plugged into a 110 line that overrides the solars on it too. So we're going to come down to the monitor panel. We're going to check the fresh tank. Shows you the fresh tank's still full of water. And fresh tank is the clean water. Then we're going to go to the battery button. Push the battery button, shows you the battery is fully charged. To get an accurate reading on the battery, you want to have the 110 line unplugged and then push the battery button, and it will give you an accurate reading of how much juice is in the 12-volt battery. Black tank shows you that it's empty. As it fills up, it'll show 1/3, 2/3 full. Gray tank 1, which is your bathroom shower and sink water, is empty. As they fill up, they'll show 1/3, 2/3 full. And gray tank 2 is your kitchen sink water only. That's your second termination valve on the back of the unit. Then it also says it has an auxiliary tank, which it doesn't have on there, but it stays empty. First red button on the left-hand side turns the water pump on between the freshwater tank and the faucets. The second one is the gas side of the hot water heater, or tank heaters. Third one is the awning lights. The fourth one is the center roll lights through the living and kitchen area. Does have an awning switch. Also has a slide room switch, so we're going to go ahead and run that slide room out. It's always good to make sure there's not a tree or a vehicle pulled up along that side that the slide room comes out of. We've already had the slide room out here, so we know there's room for it to go out. And then we're going to go ahead and run the awning out, which I'm going to have to pull the door shut just a little bit because it is up against the awning arm. We're going to go ahead and run it out. We'll run it out as far as we can go. It will go up against the wall, but we can get it out almost all the way open. Show you the canvas and the LED lights on the side of the trailer. Each one of the awning arms has a pinch point at the very bottom that you can pull down against, and we'll change the pitch of the awning front or back so the water can run off the one corner or the other of it. You can run to the back arm or the front arm, either way you want it to go. Since it is a windy day, I am going to roll that awning back up. It's just a push of a button and a wait about a minute's time. And I always have a theory, if you're not sitting underneath the awning, use it, put it up, because it just takes a minute for it to go up or down. And it is one of the most expensive parts you'll put on the unit. There we go. Now we're going to start down the door side of the unit. It has two switches on the wall that runs the shades up and down. The very back one is also used for a projector screen. So we're going to run it up so you can see the big windows. Both of the bottom windows have the orange reddish handles on them. That is for like fire escapes to get in and out. So we're going to run that screen for the projector back down in the back. Just wanted to show you that both of the windows are marked with red handles on them. But that back shade is also used for a projector.
And these both do have stickers that say do not pull out.
Do not pull on them. Here again, we're going to come back to the switches right down below that. The first one turns the lights above the island on. The second one turns the light above the slide room on. And our third one here turns our back porch light on. Amber, center soft, and bottom is bright white. So the switch that goes two ways in the living room kitchen area is for the light on the back porch. As we start down this side here, we do have two 110 outlets on the back side of the sink. The light switch on it turns the decorative lighting around the sink on. We also have a carbon monoxide LP detector down at the bottom. While we're here, it does have a glass washer that you can wash your glasses. Push down on the little steering wheel for like the boat. It cleans the inside of the glass. Or you have cold water to the top, hot water to the left, and they are marked with a little red button and a blue button on the right side there, but you actually have to pull back against the handle for it to have water coming out of it. There's two bar stools, center of the unit. We do have the smart projector. It does have the wiring for it and the remote inside that box there that will go up on the shelf on the other side of the wall so that you can watch your movies on this side here. The round white vents in the ceiling are for the AC. Does have two speakers in the inside of the unit, two speakers on the outside of the unit. The two lights above the recliners has a little button off to the side that turns them on. Does have a USB port right down below it. Does have removable tables on either side that you can take off. Little switch for the recliners is on the side here. Then you can take and put the tabletops back up into the cup holders on the side. They also have their own little cup holder at the top of it. Curtains to come across the party deck doors in the back.
Excuse me.
It also has another USB port at the top and another 110 outlet for the projector to plug into. It does have a sofa seat for the bottom of the recliners for the center person in the center. It does have the straps on the floor for both men and toy if you wanted to bring a scooter, motorcycle in. Pretty good sized cabinet up above. Does have the bass speaker up in there. Another 110 outlet in there. Refrigerator. Oop, there's somebody's grape juice. Does have push buttons down, or no, it's got controls here on the right hand side. Thermostatic controls for the icebox freezer section. A little push button down that pulls the bottom door open. Push button on the top to bring the freezer door open. We do have 2 more cabinet spaces up here above. A lot of little extra goodies up in there. We have a 110 outlet on the left hand side. Another light switch that turns the light above us on. And another USB port here to the side. We're going to go in the top drawer. There is 2 sets of keys. One purple key does the lock and deadbolt on the front door. The second purple key does the lock and deadbolt on the back. The white key, kind of grayish colors, does the 2 locks on the back party deck. Then you have the black key for your outside shower, and then this key, 751 key, does all the rest of the front compartment keys. But there is 2 sets of keys for the unit. Most important piece of paper in the whole trailer is this one here. It is the appliance information sheet. It tells you what the appliance is, who manufactured it, and it gives you the model and serial number of the appliances that's in the unit. All the rest of the paperwork is in the brown bag here at the top. But we've got 3 more drawers down below that. Pretty good sized drawers. You can add a lot of goodies, a lot of extra snacks in there. We're going to come over here to the top. Does have a light for the stove top. Does have a fan. For that fan to work properly, the 2 tabs on the outside vent have to be lifted up. Allows the flapper to flap on the outside. We're going to come down to the glass stove top. It's going to fold up 2 times out of the way. Also gives you kind of a little black splash in the back to keep getting grease on the walls. A little blue button on the very far right hand side illuminates the valves for the stove top. You're going to turn it to the highlight position, let it stay light for a minute. Does heat the thermocouple up right beside it. But it will light all 3 of the burners up on top. Now we're going to come down. It does have a microwave down below it instead of having an oven.
Nice convection microwave.
Nice convection microwave. And then you're going to give you 2 more big drawers for pots and pans or more snacks. Either way you want to go with it. We're going to come over to the entertainment center. Does have 2 pretty good sized cabinets up at the top. There is a place for a TV. Already has a swivel arm in it. Has a 110 plug-in to plug it into. Also has a TV antenna booster. Little green light indicate that it's working. The bottom connection works off the antenna on top or the part cable. The top one is a satellite connection up here at the top. Inside of the furnace, cold air return. 2 big cabinets here on the front. Lots of little goodies in there. So, excuse me, we're going to go right on around the corner. Does have a hidden compartment room, so we're going to push it in. It says try me. As we come into that little half room, there is 2 bunks on the left hand side. Does have the master air conditioner right above it. There is a place for 3 TVs on the right hand side wall with the connection up at the top ceiling to plug the 110 outlet in and the part cable or antenna hookup. Down towards the bottom on the left hand side, there is a little red sticker on the front of the cabinet there that will access you into the water pump. The water pump has a single bypass valve on the water pump for winterizing. Does have a pretty good sized little shelf right here in the center. Does have a strap on the door. Does have a round vent in the ceiling for bringing AC into the bunk area. It also has a brown vent on the cabinet wall that brings heat into the bunk room.
And then your thermostat's right here.
Thermostat right there for the air conditioner that is in the bunk area right above us. Then there's another thermostat out here that turns this main AC on. So we're going to hit the mode button 2 times. We're going to go over to AC, hit that. We're going to go to fan speed high and auto, hit it again. We got it dialed down to 33 degrees on the inside. The temperature of the room is 70, but that is the AC in the living kitchen area. This thermostat out here, we're going to go ahead and turn it right back off. So we're going to hit the mode button 2 times. bring it back to the cool. We're going to drop it down to off, hit the mode button, come to the fan speed, hit the off on it, and the AC in the living room kitchen area shuts off. We're going to go back to that mode button one more time. We're going to bring it to cool and over to heat on this side over here. This thermostat will control the air conditioner or the furnace, either way you wanted to go with it. The one in the bunk room just handles the air conditioner in the bunk room. It doesn't operate the heat. So here again, we got the room temperature set for 80 degrees. It is 70 degrees inside the room. We're going to hit that mode button 2 more times, bring it back down to heat. We're going to turn it right back to off. Hit the mode button 1 more time, gives it over to fan speed, and we're going to hit it off. And then here, as soon as the furnace goes through its cycle, it's going to shut itself off. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes for it to cool down. We're going to come into the master bathroom. It does have 2 light switches on the wall. The first one to the left-hand side turns the lights above us on. The one to the right of that turns the fan on in the ceiling. It does have a little T handle up at the top for opening and closing the vent. But it also gives you a 110 outlet on the right hand to the bathroom sink. The controls on the left hand side is the controls for the hot water heater. It has an on and off button on it, which the on button on the outside of the Suburban on-demand water heater has to be on. You can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. You can change your water temperature, whatever you want it to be to. When you call for demand for hot water at any of the sinks or showers, it'll give you a little sprinkler head here on the left-hand side. It gives you a little fan speed right here on the center, and it also has a little flame on the right-hand side. Anytime that you call for hot water coming from the faucets, it has a little sprinkler, shows you that it has water coming to the faucet. Little fan in the center shows you that it has water circulating through the on-demand water heater. And then on the right-hand side, it'll have a little flame indicating it's the hot water heater lit on gas, and it's going to bring you hot water to the faucets. But here again, you have the Celsius and Fahrenheit. You always run it on Fahrenheit. You do have your buttons for dialing it up or down for the temperature you want it set for. Anytime you call for water on the hot side of the faucets, it will light up, gives you all them little pictures, gives you the temperature of the water, the little sprinkler head on the left-hand side, the little fan in the center showing your water circulating through the hot water heater, and a little flame on the right-hand side. And then it will tell you the temperature of the water coming to the faucets. On the shower on the inside, you always have hot water on the left side, cold water on the right side. Does have a little bit of antifreeze still left in the shower head up at the top. Did run water through the hose to fill the gray tank 1. Pretty good sized little cabinet station down below the bathroom sink. On the toilet, it has a single foot flush in the front. You can push halfway down, fills with water, push all the way down, fills and dumps. A little closable lid at the top. We're going to go into the master bedroom. As we come into the master bedroom, there's 2 light switches on the wall. The first one turns to decorative lighting underneath the cabinets. The second one turns to 2 center rolls of lights above us. And the third light switch, all to its little lonesome over here in the front, is for them 2 LED lights on the front of the unit. You can almost see them lighting up as you turn it on and off. It also has a 110 outlet on either side of the master bed and a USB port on either side of the master bed. It does have pretty good size clothes hangers spots on both sides. Also has a pretty good size cabinet space up above for extra blankets and towels. Does have the 2 privacy curtains on either one of the windows in the side. As you can see, this one over here is marked for an exit. Flip it down. This window will slide all the way open. Install a little bit of screen for access for a fire escape window on the off door side. That's why they got them marked as exits. Don't know why it don't have a red handle on it. There is a place over here for a washer dryer prep. You take the shelving and the boxes out. It does give you hot and cold running water on this side here, and a drain that will drain through the gray tank 1 termination valve. There's 2 110 outlets on the side of the wall over here, one for the washer, one for the dryer. Little push button in the center of the breaker box brings the breaker box out, shows you exactly what everything is. Starting with your breakers on the very bottom of it, the first 2 are GFCIs. The island, microwave, AC, your main, washer, dryer, converter, second AC, and then your third GFCI outlet. Car fuses up at the top are marked right here from the top going down exactly what they are. They give you 6 spots in the center that don't have anything in them. Also has a brown vent on the cabinet here as you come into the master bedroom that brings heat into the master bedroom. The 2 round vents in the ceiling bring AC into the master bedroom. If you take the 2 screws out of the bottom panel here, we'll also access you into the back of the hot water heater. So you can check the connections on the back of the hot water heater. Does not have a bypass valve on it. It has to have antifreeze in the Suburban on-demand water heater. When you winterize the unit, you'll want to make sure that it has antifreeze inside of it too. That is basically everything on your unit. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them the best that I can, and thank you for your time.